Hi, and welcome to Pennsylvania Newsmakers, and thanks for watching. Well, it was an amazing week in the Capitol where a new speaker was elected, a new speaker of the House of Representatives, that is, just not the one everyone expected. Back in a moment.
This is Pennsylvania Newsmakers, a fast-paced, unrehearsed weekly discussion with and about the leaders who shape your world. And now, here's your host.
Hi, welcome to the program. Well, it was quite a week in Harrisburg last week, and boy, to assess it, to get out the facts of it, we couldn't have two better people to do it. It's point, counterpoint. That's where we get a Democrat and a Republican, and sometimes it's not all that difficult to get them to disagree, and they often agree. Joining me, as often is the case, is Mike Sturla. He's a House member, a Democrat from the city of Lancaster. He's been in the legislature for a number of years. And Mike Turzai, we have two Mikes. Representative Turzai represents a district in Allegheny County. If you want the number, the 28th. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hey, thanks very much.
All right, guys, I'm going to tell you something. On Tuesday of last week, you all went to Harrisburg expecting to see a battle between the Speaker of the House, John Purcell, a Republican, seeking another term, the Democrats putting up Bill DeWeese, their minority leader. It was not rumored, but expected that at least one Democrat would vote for the Republican Speaker. A 102-100 Democratic majority out of the blue. In the couple of days preceding that, meetings were held, and as a result of that meetings, a Philadelphia Republican, just not John Purcell, was elected Speaker, Denny O'Brien, in a stunning move by the Democrats. Now, we can get in. First of all, let me get your reaction, and then we can talk about, what all that means. Mike, we'll start with you.
Well, I mean, I think Denny has been a vote that has jumped party lines on occasion to vote for the issues that he cares about, and a lot of those are the issues that the Democrats care about. So, he comes from a district that's 65% Democratic district. We see him as an ally, and seemed like a good compromise.
Now, he had voted, he had cast a lot of votes in the last session, actually a couple sessions, for Governor Rendell's agenda. Is that your point?
Yeah.
So your argument is that you think, and also he's going to permit the Democrats to chair. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah. What he's basically said is he'll allow us to be in the majority like we are.
Mm-hmm.
Representative Purcell, the former speaker, had said that was not going to be the case.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, you came to Harrisburg on Tuesday. How stunned were you?
Well, I mean, people were definitely surprised. There's no doubt. Denny O'Brien is somebody who has often, been with the other side on a variety of issues. Denny voted for the pay raise. Denny was, certainly big in favor of expanded gambling. He's been for the tax increases in the budget in terms of spending. From what I gather, post-mortem, that Governor Rendell, I watched his press conference, put this deal together, got Denny O'Brien, Josh Shapiro, Bill DeWeese, probably Mike Sturla, and, got a deal where Denny O'Brien, who's from Philadelphia, agreed to side with them.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think we want to get inside politics on this, but I think here's I think there are two big points I want to ask you guys about. Mike, I'll turn to you first. Look, reform is on everybody's mind. The legislature, open it up, more transparency. Every conversation in Harrisburg surrounding this election had to do with changing the way business is done in Harrisburg. Take it from there. What do you think now is a prospect for the changes that have been debated over the last year and a half?
I mean, I think there are some changes that would be good and are necessary, but I'm more concerned about what it is that we get accomplished as opposed to the process by which we get it accomplished. Just as an example, some of the reform proposals are that, we have 24 hours before we vote on anything. What that means is we have 24 hours for lobbyists to do their job, if you look at it from the other perspective.
Sure.
There are times where we come to agreement as legislators, as duly elected people, and we go vote on something. Now there'll be 24 hours for the lobbyists to go work with people and try and change their minds and do those kind of things. So I mean, you know, if we adopt a rule like that. So I mean, reform is a double-edged sword. So it's not always just, you know, if you just make changes, why things are going to be a lot better. Sometimes they get a little worse.
Yeah. Now, if I understand this, the new speaker has said he's going to put together a bipartisan committee, obviously people from Democrats and Republicans, to go out and hold some hearings. You caught that, to get into this business of reform. Well, do you think this makes reform more likely, given this new arrangement? And what do you think? Go ahead.
You know, Terry, I think both reforms in terms of process are important, but I agree with Mike. You know, we substantively probably differ what the main changes have to occur in Pennsylvania. I think you're going to see reforms about process. The one thing I liked what Speaker Purcell had put on the table. You know, a lot of people have policy disagreements with John, but the fact of the matter is he had put together a rules reform package, right. And people were excited about that, and I think we need to continue to push that forward.
We're going to go to break, and when we come back, I want to talk about Rendell's agenda, because I think, as you pointed out, you got a lot of big policy substance take up. There's some huge issues that confront the state. And do you think we are going to enter an era? I mean, everybody this week was talking about bipartisanship, less polarization. Both of you have to think that's good, if in fact it's meaningful, that you can all sit down and work out your differences. Are you optimistic about that side of it?
No.
No? Go ahead. Why? You think it's going to be end up politics?
I mean, you know, the fact that you have people already taking shots at Denny O'Brien, you know, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of, and there was some animosity on the Democratic side, and right from the get-go about, you know, this speaker's race.
We got to go to break quickly. What do you think?
I think there's real differences between the governor's agenda and a solid Republican agenda.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk about the governor's agenda, specifically a number of items that we're going to hear from Governor Rendell about in the next couple of weeks, leading up, of course, to his inauguration on January 16, and then his address to the General Assembly, the budget message in February. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.